Yo, what's up, guys? It's your boy Schizomanic, the angry freak, back at it again. I don't know if you can hear the music from my mother's radio downstairs, or if you can hear my sister in the bathroom. I'm praying to God that you can't. But if you can, and this video gets copyrighted for some music, I'll be mad as fuck. But we'll see what happens. Anyways, this is Snafu Climax, or Snafu Season 3, Episode 2 review. I know the episode came out yesterday, but some things happened. Essentially, I didn't know the episode came out yesterday until like 10 or 11, and then I watched the episode, but realized it was too late to do a review. So I then ended up going, well, fuck it, I'll do it today, but I had to do some errands and stuff first. And then I rewatched the episode, and that's where we are now. I've rewatched the episode and everything, just so I had a fresh opinion and thoughts on it. And I want to talk about it because I'm surprised. I feel like we finally gotten to the point now where like Snafu has like subplots. Like usually most of the season episodes are just pretty straightforward to like, it's like a lot of details to unpack about the characters, but like what's going on is pretty simple. Here there's like 3 different things going on, each involving Yukinoshita, and or Yukinon, and Hikigaya. Although Hikigaya, I think, had primarily most of his section in the last episode, so this episode, he's still important, but not in the same way. It is doing that thing where apparently they're going to do like half the episode addressing what happened last week, like continuing from last week, and the other half is like a new situation. Because the first half is based off the Haruno discussion, and then the second half is based in the Iroha stuff. The long story short version is that you can see that Yukinoshita is taking steps to become more independent and more of a true individual and stand on her own 2 feet. And I'm sitting there like, yeah, because I'm a little surprised because I didn't think it'd be this quick. I figured we would get an arc that kind of let her build into it. It seems like she's just jumping right into the fucking frying pan. But I also forget, thanks to the Iroha part of the episode, that they're all seniors. They're all about to graduate somewhat soon. They're probably around in, I would say, like January, probably. If it's still snowing, probably January or February. So, like, they'll be graduating in like 4 months, 4 or 5 months, I would guess. Which is why they go into this whole thing about how a prom in Japan, a prom would be way, you have so little time to do it. But they're thinking if they start now, which is like early, the beginning of the year, they could get away with it. But anyways, I kind of want to address the Haruno stuff primarily because the Yukinoshita stuff is pretty straightforward. In the sense that she wants to go home and she wants to talk to her mom. And it leads into the same stuff I was talking about before where like, this is going to kind of fracture the group, but not in an unhealthy way, but in a healthy way because Yukinoshita needs to work on herself and she needs to work out her family issues. The only thing I thought was weird is that they had this conversation be triggered. Like, they had this whole flashback of this sequence be triggered by a conversation with Hayama and Hikigaya. Which, by the way, that's another show of growth of how, like, he can casually talk to Hayama now. Although it's kind of obvious that they have a pseudo-antagonistic relationship where he's kind of like, fuck you. Thank you for the well wishes for my sister, but fuck you. Like, you know, I like that cool dynamic. The only thing I'm a little surprised about is how the fuck did she find out so quickly? And it's weird because Hayama's very aware that Yukinoshita had problems and that her and her family had problems. I'm still very much on the train that Hayama was meant to be an arranged marriage. I am very much aware that's what they want to do. Hayama and Yukinoshita are meant to be married because of family relations and ties and whatever the fuck. But like they still haven't come out and addressed it. And then so like the Hayama stuff, it still needs to be brought up. And I have a sneaking suspicion Hayama and Hikigaya may or may not throw some hands towards the end of the seasons. That's a personal opinion. I don't know if it's going to happen. But the way their relationship has been built up and their dynamic, it would not surprise me if those two go at it for whatever reason. Not going to throw out what reason. It's just a sneaking suspicion I have. The Haruno conversation was interesting just to see how weirdly supportive she was of Yukinoshita. But getting into the conversation that happens when Yui decides to stay at Yukinoshita's to help her pack and Hikigaya tries to go home, and of course Haruno's at the fucking entrance ambushing him, essentially wanting to walk with him. it kind of you get a little bit more hint into Haruno's character, that essentially she's an older sister who had to deal with a lot of shit from her parents, and then having a younger sister she genuinely cared about, but couldn't move on her own. Like, that's the main thing. Like, Yukinosha is a character who could not move on her own, so like Haruno as a person became way more jaded, not only due to the shit that her parents made her do, but the fact that her little sister, one of the few things she probably still cared about, wouldn't move on her own 2 feet. So she essentially had to change. She changed somewhat due to the jadedness that came from the parent side, but also due to, I gotta get my sister to like become her own person. And unfortunately that means she has to be kind of an asshole. She even alludes to how, like, when she talks about how she can't get drunk, it's that whole, the way I always think, because she also says something about Hikigaya, essentially implying that they're almost both putting on a show in a way. That, like, she even mentions how she can tell what face she's making, and that part of her is still calm, meaning that she's, like, always thinking. She's one of them type of chicks that literally is stuck in her own head. And it keeps her grounded, but it also means she never, like, can fully let loose and express herself. Emotion-wise, I would argue that Haruno's probably holding back in a way similar to fucking Yukinosha. The difference is Yukinosha has friends around her that allows her to express herself. That's why, like when Yukinosha mentioned in the first episode how this is the first time anyone ever like listened to her talk about her family issues. Because Yukinosha is realizing she has a support system. That's why she's a lot more calm and expressive. I fucking love that, and it's subtle touches. Because if you're a fan of the series, you can notice these small little things. She's way more talkable. She doesn't get as nervous as often. She's comfortable in her own self, but she's also like happy. Not like as happy as she wants to be, but she's definitely on that path, and it's beautiful. Haruno, I don't think ever had that. So Haruno struggles, but Haruno can fake being a responsible, calm adult. So like, that's what she does. Realistically, I think Hikigaya is probably one of the few characters that gets to see the most of her, because Hikigaya immediately, when they first met, was looking through her, and constantly. And even now, still looking through her. But the thing is, I think Haruno thinks that her and him are alike. So that's why she makes the claim that, oh, you're just probably like me, you probably can't get drunk either. Essentially meaning you can't, like, let loose and let go. I can't tell. Part of this is an argument of Hikigaya being genuine, which I don't think is really. Realistically, if I had to make an argument, I think Haruno's more like Hayama than anything. They're both characters who actively choose to stay a certain way because life is easier for them that way. Although Hayama's doing it in the sense of stubbornness. Hayama wants to do it to prove Hikigaya wrong. Haruno does it to cope. Haruno doesn't know how any other way to like conduct herself. So she's like, if I go this route, at least everything will be as fine as it could be. And I think Haruno struggles because of that. It'd be surprising if we get a genuine type scene with Haruno, because Haruno still puts on this bullshit ass facade. It's not that she can't get drunk, and I think that the most touchy feely, like she portrays this whole facade of being this bubbly, like really approachable woman who's also really smart and pretty and talented and shit. But on the inside, she's like this tired girl who just wishes she had some sense of freedom to herself, so she fakes it. It's like, I can tell Haruno is not open about who she is. Hikigaya, I think, is one of the few characters who can get her a little bit over it, but she can't, like, she still wasn't opening herself up fully. That's why she always leaves these little hints and statements and shit. Drunk just allows her to get a little looser than she normally does. Hence why we got more information about her this episode. It's an interesting dynamic though. And I'm curious if Haruno's development will change over the course of the season. I know this is obviously going to be more focused on Yukinosha becoming more of an individual and getting her start, which is kind of just confirms everything I've been saying up until this point. But like, I'm curious if any of the other side characters are going to get any development. Which is funny because then it turns us into a Aroha section, which essentially the short version is that Aroha's like goal of making a prom correlates somewhat, like, her determination to get the prom done this year, which, like, I'll say this, I personally think half of the reason is for her own development, but I definitely think, like, 100% the other part of the reason is because Hayama and Hikigai are graduating this year. That's why she mentioned something along the lines of, like, you don't want to get held back for a year, senpai, because she recognized, like, half of it, she says her reason is to be prom queen. I'm not saying that's not partially true, but I think the other parts of it is that she wants to, I think she is trying to take the student council stuff seriously, and in the same vein, she wants to have a prom with Hikigaya and Hayama, because it's the only chance. I'm recording! Even in the videos, people. Even in the fucking videos. I'm going to leave it in, because you guys, it's become a meme that my family interrupts me in, like, these things. Sister doesn't do it all the time, and she was wearing decent clothing, so we should be fine. Shit. But yeah, I think Iroha's reasons, the 3 reasons she wants to do this prom is A, because she wants to, I think she does want to grow. Remember, she did say in the 2nd season she was inspired by Hikigaya's whole wanting to be genuine thing. And although she's not there yet either, she's at least making an effort to become more of an individual. The second thing is definitely because of Hayama. Hayama and Hikigaya. She wouldn't admit to Hikigaya, but I'm pretty sure it's Hayama. Like, half of it's Hayama, half of it's Hikigaya. So it's her wanting to step up, her wanting to be and have a prom with Hayama and Hikigaya, and being prom queen, which probably ties in with the Hayama Hikigaya nonsense. Because I don't think, and some of you might go, why is that even a thing? Well, if you notice, and if you're someone who's even noticed it, you remember Roha's whole speed rejection thing she does? Where, like, Hikigaya will say something to her, and she'll mistake it as, like, him flirting with her, and then she'll reject him and speak really fast when she does it. If you notice throughout the course of the 2nd season, and she actually does it for the preview of episode 3, her reasons over the season gets less and less insulting. Like, it starts out by saying he's, like, creepy and gross, to the point where it's like, sorry, I think it goes from, like, a flat-out rejection to just, like, apologizing for some dumb shit. Like, Hikigaya has gotten more and more into her heart. Whether or not she'll admit it or not is debatable, but the point is, she's gotten more and more into her heart. There's not really a lot to say about the Iroha stuff other than the fact that it correlates a lot with Yukinoshita's, like, I need to do this now or else it'll never get done kind of mentality, which is cool. I like the correlation, and it seems like they've grown closer just through the experience. Although Yukinoshita is still, like, she may not be Ice Queen anymore, but she definitely is still standoffish, which, I mean, she's not going to change overnight, goddammit. And then the last thing, which has kind of been hinted throughout the episode, and even last week's, and even the end of season 2, Yui's depression that I think is coming on, which is this inner turmoil. See, here's the thing. When it comes to emotional development, I would say is Yui, Hikigaya, and Yukinoshita. Well, actually, that's hard now. I probably would say, I'm like half and half with it now. I think Yui's ahead is the point, but, like, Hikigaya and Yukinoshita are kind of close in terms of emotional development. In terms of, like, in terms of growth, I think Hikigaya is ahead of Yukinoshita. But Yukinoshita's kind of caught up a little bit in terms of emotional growth, because she's being more open now. But that just now started, so I'll probably argument that, like, it's Yui, Hikigaya, Yukinoshita. But because Yui's ahead in emotional growth, that means Yui already recognizes things that Hikigaya and Yukinoshita don't recognize. And the one thing that really hasn't been touched upon inherently is the love stuff. Because it's obvious that Yui's almost borderline open with the fact that she likes Hikigaya, like, in a romantic way. She even does, like, subtle things in this episode as how she doesn't recognize, but it also, I think, plays with her insecurity. Here's the thing. Yui's ahead, so she recognizes this stuff quicker, but that also means she can recognize that Yukinoshita is growing feelings for Hikigaya. And what's fucking with her, and it kind of leads into the end of the episode when she sees the picture of Hikigaya and Yukinoshita at the not Disneyland area, is that she goes through this monologue talking about how she always felt like she was at a door, but she She felt like she shouldn't disturb it. All she could do was peek and eavesdrop. Pretty much saying that, like, even though she's emotionally ahead of Yukinoshita, Yukinoshita probably has a closer relationship with Hikigaya. And I think that's what's bothering her. It's slowly, that's one of the reasons why she says at the end of the episode, why she never wanted anything genuine. Because reality sucks. And that's what's stopping Yui right now. Yui is already in her mind recognized that Yukinoshita, if things progress the way they do, not only will the club be destroyed, but like will be like disbanded essentially, but also she will lose Hikigaya to Yukinoshita. And it's gonna break her heart in like multiple ways. That's why I feel bad, because you can tell that's what the process is going in her mind. That like she's recognizing that's why she doesn't want anything genuine. Because reality hurts. But the problem is that Yui still on that Hayama bullshit. The question is, throughout the season, is she gonna go past it? Is she gonna grow past it? She may not. But the point I'm making is that right now, that is Yui's like hang up. Because she thinks Yukinoshita is ahead of her. And she thinks that Yukinoshita has this thing with Hikigaya that Yui can never have with him. And it breaks her heart. That's the reason why you think at the end of last season she was proposing ideas in the first place. Because she recognizes that she can never be in that position. Like she knows how this will end. That she'll lose Hikigaya and Yukinoshita in different ways. As a friend and also as a potential lover. And that was what fucks her up. Like, that's the turmoil, that's her turmoil for this season. Is her kind of like realizing that that's not a reason to stop. And not everything will disappear. It's kind of like what Yukinoshita said. If our friendship, if that was enough to break their friendship, that means they didn't have a real one to begin with. It means it wasn't genuine. So that's Yui's hang up. That she sees the writing on the wall, and she's so afraid of that reality that she actively tries to fight against it. But she still wants to be supportive because she cares about Yukinoshita. She cares about Yukinoshita a lot. That's why she's still supporting her. But at the same time also recognizes that the road they're on, she's going to hit the wall. Like, it's like everyone's on the boat in Titanic, and there's only like a couple of boats for rescues. And she knows they hit that iceberg, she's going to drown, and Hikigaya and Yukinoshita aren't. And it's fucking with her. That's why she also said, pretend like you don't see it. Because she's trying to ignore it. Because she knows when it happens and when it hits, it's going to ruin her. And I hope the anime, I hope the direction, they do something. Obviously someone's going to get hurt. I would rather it not be Yui, but realistically, if it's like any other light novel or romance show, it'll probably be Yui that's going to get hurt. And I'm going to be like, fuck! So, I'm like in a conflicted position because, like, I know where we're going. And Yui is like the reader of the novel. Like, she knows where we're going. And she doesn't like it. So those are the three subplots. Yukinoshita working on herself, Aroha working on herself, and Yui dealing with her inner turmoil. Because Yui's ahead right now. But Yui's also at a standstill because she doesn't want to move forward. Because if she moves forward, she's going to speed up the process that she already isn't looking forward to. The one thing is that ironically enough, she's the one who's not being honest. That's why Hikigaya mentioned at the end of season 2, when she suggested that whole plan to Yukinoshita, why didn't Yui say it? Because as much as Yui suggests the plan, she doesn't want them to be aware of it yet. Because she knows she'll just speed up a process that will ultimately screw her in the end. Yui is such a tragic character, bro, and it hurts me. But I want her to be better than Hayama because fuck Hayama. That's why. I know, and I'm like, no, don't do this to her. But they're going to do it too. I don't know. I'm conflicted. I'm so conflicted. But I've been rambling for a long amount of time. I'm sorry. I gotta go. I have pizza that's getting cold. But I just wanted to put out the review and let you guys know. We're only on 2 episodes in. We're only 2 episodes in. Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm gonna die. Oh, I'm gonna die, bro. It's so much. It's so much, bro. Please don't take down the video. Please and thank you. Life's a game, play to win. I'll catch you guys later. Man, peace out. Holy shit. This thing has stabbed me like 3 times. I'm so sick of it. Good night, everybody. Good night. Jesus Christ.